You don't need a recipe to cook a delicious meal. Just be a kid again. For fearless flavor in the kitchen and life, let your inner child cook free. Let me share a secret recipe. Discover an ingredient that fires your imagination. Choose other flavors to match. Find the best way to cook them. My secret recipe? Cooking without a recipe. Ever have one of those rainy days where everything's just grim and gray? Well, one of the best places you can go to clear the clouds is your kitchen. Gabe's invited a bunch of his friends over for a rainy day picnic inside. That should lift everybody's spirits. Whipping up a colorful, healthy meal for kids is easy. Getting them to eat it? No, that's a challenge. I've got some simple chicken breasts ready to go. And these are perfect for kids. Kids love chicken. It's actually kind of bland. It's neutral. It's a flavor base that's perfect for cooks too, because I can throw just about any flavor under the sun at chicken. But as any parent will tell you, chicken is easy. The real challenge? Vegetables. Boy, if I can figure out a way to get those kids eating vegetables, I'm going to get a Nobel Prize in nutrition today. The best way to get kids to engage with healthy food is to look at it through their eyes, make it fun. And that's why dippers and dip are on the menu at my house at least once a week. So at this point, all I have to do is come up with some kind of crust for these, some kind of cool, kid-friendly way to add a little extra crunch and flavor to the outside of that chicken. Okay, let's see what I've got in that pantry of mine. This is my playground, and it can be yours too, because you know what? Every time I make those dippers, I change the crust. I've tried everything under the sun. Simple things like white flour, really easy, or cornmeal, fine ground cornmeal. Just toss the chicken strips in it and they're ready to go. Or whole grains, oatmeal. Whole grains are something I try to get on the table every single day, and they're perfect for crusting chicken. You know what? They're perfect for my signature muffins, too. I'm going to start with the basic ingredients first. The dry ingredients: flour, all-purpose flour, brown sugar, more flavor, baking powder and baking soda, and wet ingredients: some oil, 2 eggs, and some yogurt. Now my basic ratio calls for 3 cups of all-purpose flour. However, one of those cups can change. The 3rd cup, instead of flour, is going to be oatmeal. 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon or so of salt, and a full cup of sugar, which today is brown sugar for flavor. So those are my dry ingredients. Now for my wet: 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of oil, and yogurt. I prefer yogurt over milk. It adds a sort of a sweet and sour tang to the muffins that I really like. Okay, now before I mix the wet and dry together, I've got the opportunity to add a full cup of anything under the sun: nuts, blueberries, chocolate chips, or vegetables like carrots, Carrots are perfect to add. A, because they're vegetables, they're good for you. And B, because they're kind of dense. Like they can carry their own weight in the batter. They don't need extra eggs or flour to help them set up. You know what? There is one thing missing here. Spices. Let's see what I have. Cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. Perfect with carrots. Some flavors just go together naturally. Okay, the good dash of strong cinnamon flavor, and perhaps a little bit less nutmeg, and a big splash of vanilla extract. Now before I add the dry ingredients, in goes the carrots. Go. At this point, the key is to mix the batter quickly, because if I continue mixing, I'm going to make bread dough, and I don't want bread dough. I don't want this stiff muffin. This particular recipe makes 6 large muffins or 12 smaller muffins. Personally, I prefer the larger ones because I like the muffin tops best. I'll bake these off for about a half an hour or so, until they're a perfect golden brown. Hey, I'm just getting started and I've already got some vegetables on the menu. Now I've got time to look for some more fun veggie ideas. Look at this, guys. Here, one for everybody. It's pouring outside, and inside I'm cooking up a storm. Gabe and his friends are having a blast.
Oh no!
We're gearing up for a kitchen picnic. My goal today is to keep everybody smiling with lots of kid-friendly flavors, and to keep myself smiling with lots of healthy flavors. Today I'm making dippers with chicken. Kids love them, and I love them, and I've chosen whole grain oatmeal for the crust. In my experience with kids, it's all about the crust. So, I want a thick, crusty crust. For that, I'm going to set up a standard breading station. In the first bowl, flour. Couple of eggs in the second one. And the actual crust in the third one. So here's how it works. The first thing you got to do is dry off the chicken, and you do that by dusting it in flour. And now the eggs will stick to the dry chicken. And once the eggs stick to the dry chicken, then the oatmeal, the crust, will stick to the wet eggs. That's how breading works. Look at all that healthy oatmeal. So, how do you get kids excited about great food? Well, if I've learned anything as a parent, it's quite simply this. You begin in the grocery store. The best way to get your kids excited about food is for you to get excited about food. Where else in their world can you safely introduce as much healthy variety and tasty experimentation as there is in the great big world of food? Look at your supermarket through their eyes. Encourage their natural curiosity by bringing home lots of colorful fruits and vegetables. Because if food is fun, they'll naturally embrace it. Now, they may not embrace everything you bring home, but it's very important that they come to expect variety on the table. Food is a great way to simply spend time with your kids. As they grow up and begin to appreciate the world around them, use that to your advantage. Take them shopping for some global flavors. Encourage them to choose a familiar favorite ingredient. Nori maki arar. It's a great way to teach them cultural diversity, and if they're having fun, I guarantee you they're going to learn more. So remember, it's not about one ingredient, one meal, or even one day, because healthy eating is a lifelong pursuit, and kids that are excited about food will naturally learn how to take care of themselves. Sometimes when I cook, the results are inedible, but that can be a good thing. Here's one of Gabe's favorite recipes: flour, cream of tartar, salt, and every kid's favorite, and mine, food coloring. I'm going to make Play-Doh. Now, this is really simple. I'll begin with 2 cups of flour. There we go. A full cup of salt. The first bite might be interesting, but there isn't going to be a second bite. And 2 cups of water. A heaping tablespoon of cream of tartar. You can find this in your supermarket. It's in the baking aisle. And a heaping tablespoon of oil. So how do you measure a heaping tablespoon of oil? Just watch. Full. Overflowing. There we go. So at this point, all I have to do is cook this out. Just going to divide it up into 4 balls. Now this is no time to be shy. Hit it with the color. At this point, just start kneading. Funny, 5 years ago, I would never have imagined that I'd be standing in my own kitchen making Play-Doh. Just look at that. But you know, these are for the kids to play with, so back to work. I still have some chicken dippers that need a little dip attention. You can all take pieces off too and share colors too. It's pouring outside, so to chase away the rainy day blues, Gabe's invited some friends over for an inside picnic. The small kids are playing, and so is the big kid. Not bad, huh? Homemade Play-Doh. On the menu, chicken dippers. Simple chicken strips, cleverly breaded with healthy oatmeal. I've preheated the oven to about 400 degrees. They'll take, 12, 15 minutes max. I'll know when they're done. So I need a dip for the dipper. Let's see what I can find, because you can dip in just about anything. Mustard, horseradish, too strong. Ketchup, too much sugar. Tahini, that'll scare those kids. Sesame seed puree, but apple butter. Now this is just the thing. My mom used to make this stuff every fall. I love this stuff. Apple butter is an old-fashioned preserve. It's basically applesauce taken a step further. Begin with a bag of crisp local apples, brown sugar, perhaps a splash of apple juice or cider. Pretty standard stuff. The spices are where you get to play. Blend the obvious: cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, with the subtle allspice, cardamom, vanilla. If you're going to cook down a pot of apples, you might as well add some flavor. Simmer, stir. As the flavors concentrate, the apple's high water content will evaporate. Cool the mixture, puree it, and it will spread like butter. Every time I use apple butter, it reminds me of my mom's kitchen in the fall. But this is actually a little bit too thick for dipper, eh? You know, I mean, look at that. I need to thin it down a little bit. And I've got just the thing for that. Some yogurt. About 1 to 1, you know, equal parts. This goes back to all my days working Sunday brunch buffets. There we go. Just look at all these vegetables. Baby spinach, good mix there. Broccoli sprouts, onion sprouts. I don't do this every day, but on special occasions, open for business, Dad's all-you-can-eat salad bar. There we go. There's that big bowl full of lettuce that anchors every salad bar. Now for the salad bar itself. Now there's a challenge. Some fennel. Baby tomatoes, cucumber. Here's an idea. Check out what's going to happen to these. I think about all the effort I used to put into impressing high-paying, fine dining guests. It doesn't compare to trying to impress kids. Ah, yes, it's a very rare vegetable. It's only found for just a few days a year under the light of the full moon. We like to call it around here the cucumber. I love fennel. This stuff tastes so good. It's got that sort of licorice flavor. I've got my greens. I've got a good start on those veggies. I'll probably add a few more. But now it's time for the crunchies. Almonds. Nuts, of course, are very healthy for you. Sunflower seeds. Pumpkin seeds. Did I mention that I'm running for best dad on the block this week? A little breakfast cereal? Well, why not? It's got whole grains in it. Okay. It's all starting to come together. The master plan. Vegetables 101. Now for the popcorn. Call me crazy, but popcorn's got texture. It's crunchy, and it's corn, and it's food, and it's edible, and why not put it on a salad bar? Now this'll get their attention, and it's a whole grain, too. The only thing I need now is some dressings. I'm going to start with white wine vinegar, some olive oil, about twice as much olive oil as I have vinegar, 2 to 1 ratio, splash of mustard. The mustard helps the vinegar and the olive oil combine, and some dried oregano, some salt and pepper, one. Yes, I have to admit, food coloring comes in useful when you're cooking for kids. A couple drops here. Two. A couple drops here. And 3. So I think I'll go with yellow in this one. I think I'll dress this up with a few more vegetables. And speaking of veggies, I got an idea for a drink. It was pouring this morning, so to chase away the rainy day blues, Gabe invited some friends over for a rainy day picnic. So I hit the kitchen with some bright ideas, cooked up a storm, and now the sun is out. I've got some oatmeal crusted chicken dippers ready to go. With some beautiful apple dip, the coolest salad bar on the block is about to open, and in my everlasting quest to get vegetables on the table, I've come up with a vegetable drink. Carrot juice. I'm going to add some apple juice to it too. And now for a little flavor zing, I'm going to add some ginger juice to the works. Of course, with ginger, a little bit goes a long way. That looks great, and it's full of healthy flavor. Okay, dippers and dip. And as you can see, they didn't stick to the pan. I didn't have to use any oil to make these dippers. All right. You know, when you relax and let your inner child run wild in life and the kitchen, every moment becomes magical. Kids start eating oatmeal, magic. Kids start eating vegetables, more magic. Next thing you know, you're chasing down flavor ideas left and right, and then the sun starts shining. All right, look at the salad bar. Over here we've got chicken dippers. You can have one of those, Gabe. Take whatever you want. You can take a lot, take a little. Now, which dressing would you like? We have 3. Green dressing, red dressing, yellow dressing. Have you guys ever been to a salad bar before?
No.
Did you guys have fun today?
I'm a sun man.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Cheers!